I've been incarcerated many times, and I've been pregnant while incarcerated many times. I've had 10 children. A lot of them I was pregnant with them while I was incarcerated fighting my disease, which is addiction. My memory of being pregnant and incarcerated in the county jails is one in particular is the way our health care. I remember I was pregnant and I had some kind of discharge, infection, whatever, women have those, and I went to be treated at I was put in a kite. They finally got me. First of all, it took weeks for me to even get to see the doctor, pregnant or not. It took me weeks from the time I put my kite in just to see the doctor for this ailment, and then they didn't treat me adequately. It wasn't working. I was getting worse, and I kept kiting back saying, hey, the medicine you gave me is not working. I need to be seen again. Never got a call back. Never got pulled to the doctor, but then thank God, Planned Parenthood came in one day, and they were giving free exams, and they found I had a really bad infection, and they gave me the medicine and treated me. So it was a really shame that here you are as this institution that is in charge of the well-being and safety of their participants, of their members, of people who reside there, and they're not giving us adequate care, and that could have harmed my child. The Planned Parenthood told me that infection could have harmed my child, and it was not addressed adequately by the. So that's one thing. Another thing that I experienced in county jail is when we go out to doctor's appointments, the difference of the way they treat us. Because I've been pregnant a lot, so I've been out in the community to doctor's appointments, and I've been treated with dignity and respect, and humanely as we were supposed to be. But whenever I was shackled and went to a doctor's appointment, even to the same clinics, the same hospitals, it was a whole different way that I was treated. I was treated with rude, didn't tend to the helping me get comfortable if I was really far along. It was just a total disregard of my needs as a human being, as a mother, and as an individual patient, and just talked to down and just left to sit in corners for a long time, and it was just really demoralizing and demeaning the way I felt going to those appointments. And then when I was in prison, being incarcerated, being pregnant, it was really, really difficult because they had a baby program in Purdy, and I applied for that, and I was a model prisoner by the time my child was born, and as soon as I never got an infraction ever. And there was only a few slots, and out of those few slots, every single person got in except for 2 African-American mothers, and I was one of them. And even a person who had committed manslaughter, who was supposed to be precluded from this program, got accepted. She was Caucasian, and we didn't get neither one of us got that slot, the other African-American mother. It was really difficult, when you're pregnant and you're seeing other children playing and loving with their mothers, and you know that this would be a great opportunity for you in a safe place to give it a good shot to turn your life around and keep your child. And it was kind of knowing that since you were not approved for the program, that your child was not going to come back with you. It was very hard. And then, so I went into labor, and since I've had 10 kids, that was my 9th kid by then. I had my 9th kid, and I was high-risk pregnancy, and I had pretty fast labor, and that was all of my records, and I told them. So when I went in labor, I let them know, hey, I go in labor really fast. It took forever just to get the nurse down to see me, and then they called the ambulance. I think it was like 40 minutes from the time I said that I was going in labor that the ambulance even got to the spot. And then before we could take off, they had to shackle me to get into the ambulance, to lay me on the gurney. I'm in like almost full-blown labor. I'm just like trying to make some real good noise before the ambulance came, and they felt the need to shackle me. So I'm shackled, laid in the gurney, and then the ambulance attendants were working on me, trying to get me prepared to see if the baby's coming, what have you. So they're pulling my underwear off and all that, putting my legs up, and then there's 2 male guards in the ambulance. Well, one's in the front and one's in the back with us, but there's a male guard there, and like just all, he turned his head, but I mean, come on, dude. Why are you here? Why did he send a female? That's one. Then when I get to the hospital, so by the time I get to the hospital, it was a long drive from Purdy to Tacoma General, which I think they took me to. So we'd go all the way to Tacoma. And by the time I got there, I'm in full-blown labor. I'm in so much pain. I could just, oh my God. So I'm making some noise, like, help me, I need something, give me something for the pain, oh my God, right? And then as soon as I walked in the door, the first thing they said to me, she was trying to interview me, asking me my name and all that, and I'm like, Kimberly Mays, give me something. And I'm just trying to answer her questions, but I'm saying, in between me answering her questions, I'm saying, oh my God, I'm in pain, right? Like, can you wait for this, right? No, she was very rude, and then I never did get any medicine or anything. And so as they pulled me, started getting towards the room. Once we got to the room, and I'm really amped now, she's still asking me stupid questions, and I'm telling her I'm in so much pain, the baby's coming, somebody help me. She kept telling me, she started getting louder and louder. Shut up. I said, you got to be quiet. You can't be loud in here. So she's getting angry. Her face was getting all angry and menacing. And then she took both of her hands, crisscrossed them, and bent over and smashed my face and my nose, covered my face and my nose in a very hard, pressing way, with my head smushing into the gurney, and with her body weight telling me to shut up. You need to shut up. And then she held it there, and I couldn't even breathe because she had my nose closed, and my eyes were darting back and forth, looking for some face who had some compassion, who would get the crazy lady off me. And you know, because I couldn't breathe, and then they were looking at me and her like, yeah, shut that crazy animal up. That's how I felt, and they looked so mad at me, like, ugh, like shut up. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember then I finally got her. I could pry her hands off my face myself. Because they didn't take my handcuffs off, but they had my ankle cuffs off. And then they put me in the room, and then a doctor came in. I remember the doctor that kind of made it a little more, I felt a little more humane, a little bit, the way he was talking to me himself. But the staff was just like looking at me like, everyone was looming at me, like leering at me. I'm like, God, what did I do? I'm not even a murderer. I'm here for a drug possession. What? You know what I'm saying? And so then there was a guard. Then they closed the curtain and they started undressing me, and the guard was still in there. And I remember that. And my doctor was checking me. He said, I'm going into labor. And the last thing I remember when the doctor came in after he said that was looking over with my legs in the stirrups and all my stuff exposed, was thinking, why is that man still in this room? And you know, and I was still handcuffed by my ankles. I think, no, they took the ankle ones off because the man put my legs up. Then they handcuffed my wrist. So they took my ankles. They kept switching to where my handcuffs would go per whatever the doctor needed to do to me. If you need to work down there, they move the handcuff and take me up here. If they need to work up here, put some IV or something, and take the handcuffs off out here and put them on my ankle. It was just so ridiculous to me. Like, I'm not going anywhere, right? I'm in full-blown labor. So I don't remember giving birth to my child. I don't remember the birth. To this day, I try to remember the birth. I cannot remember the birth. And I feel that I was so demoralized and so demeaned that I just blocked the whole experience out. But I do remember when, after I gave birth to him, I remember having to ask to have my handcuffs taken off each time I had to go to the bathroom. And, you know, women have to do certain things when we go to the bathroom because after having a birth, you know, and stitches and all that, it was just really rough. Like the guard went on break. Right, and went somewhere, I couldn't get out that bed. And then just holding my baby and knowing that I had to leave him there, and that I wouldn't have no one's going to tell me where he's going, if he's going to be safe, if they're going to hurt him or not, or what. And it was just so hard. And then I came back to the unit. I was in the baby unit still, and I had to stay there for almost a month before I was convinced them to move me, because then here I had to go see these other women and engage with their children, and mine wasn't there. And then my baby they didn't even bring my baby to visit me until 3 or 4 months later for the first time, and no one told me where he was for at least 3 months. No, CPS didn't tell me where, because they came and got the baby, but no one connected. And so when I got out, it was like I had an opportunity to try to get him back, but I just didn't have the right support and the bonding. I think one thing that led to me with that child, because I did a lot of programming and I was really determined to turn it around, and just the trauma of that experience, it was hard for me to bond with him. It was hard for me to engage with him and to really take that role as a parent with my child. And I have him in my life today, thank God, but and we're pretty bonded, but there's still kind of different experience, a different relationship I have with him than the rest of my kids. It's a little different, a little alienated.